ready to take your child into the toilet, she might get involved in a big fight with one of the toilets. Exactly. Exactly. They have them here. There's all countries that have been demanding their €1. Cheryl wouldn't have any of that.
I started to think from a football point of view that we lost this tournament might be only got injured today. That's what I thought it was. We had quite a lot of chances. We had about 4 really good chances, and we didn't have anyone who scored those chances. We didn't have a goal scorer at the side. And Steven Gerrard, they can score goals. That hasn't been in this tournament, but they are goal scorers. That isn't actually their job.
So I know it's Steven Gerrard, what they call it.
Because that's what I thought, is that even though Michael Owen is a very good goal scorer, I kind of think when England had since Lineker, that bloke who you know is always going to score at the absolute moment you need to score in the most important games.
Well, I think that at the end of the day we have to consider the fact that the manager did not pick the correct squad, because certainly when Rooney got sent off, we were in a position then where we only had 2 strikers really to start with. Both of them were slightly injured. One had gone home completely crippled. The other one was out for the rest of the World Cup. Then we had Peter Crouch, who I sort of, I know we have an amnesty on jokes about him. I still don't think he's any good at that level. And then we have a completely untried, untested teenager who seems to, Sven seems to have changed his mind about before he even came.
Well, it's very,
so who would we have played up front in the next game?
Well, if we'd won that game, we would have presumably been playing Crouch up front by himself, or Crouch with Gerrard as a second striker, or Joe Cole. I mean, a very, very makeshift thing if we'd gone through, because I don't think he would have played Walcott. He couldn't play Walcott in a semi-final of the World Cup.
The simple fact is, I think, you need to be intelligent to be a manager. You need to be cleverer than the players and cleverer than the other manager. And I don't think Sven is either of those.
But that's one of the interesting things I think about this particular thing that we've seen today, which is that the press go on about Scolari, passionate man, the outspoken man, the shouting manager, and Sven the professor, all that. But that's just like what they look like, because Scolari is clearly a clever manager. He's won now 3 times every time they've met. He plays, it seems to me, a clever tactical game. And just because he's not so kind of quiet and doesn't sometimes wear glasses like Sven does, he clearly doesn't make him not the cleverer man.
Yeah, but I thought that a lot of Portugal's play was pretty despicable. And I don't know if that's actually encouraged on the training ground. But, you know, I mean, I know everyone does play acting right, but I thought it was a horrible victory by a horrible team, who I very much hoped don't win the World Cup. I thought they were hateful.
Fucking Rudy's been fucking sent off for fuck all. Now he's going off on a fucking stretcher. I can't fucking believe, what did he fucking do then? No, we've been fucking cheated out of this.
Well, again, one of the things I like about my brother, and this is probably completely known now by people in England, but when Rooney got sent off, I couldn't even quite work out what happened. From our point of view, it just looked like he was involved in a rough tackle and then pushed Cristiano Ronaldo because Ronaldo had kind of riled him. But then it turns out that they've showed Ronaldo winking at one of his teammates after Rooney got sent off, as if Rooney knows, as if Ronaldo knows, which he indeed might do, because they played for the same team on the training ground together, how to rile Rooney, poking him in the back, whatever he did. And it seems like the assumption is that Ronaldo did what he planned to do, which is to get Rooney sent off. Which, if it is true, I can't see how they can carry on playing together at Manchester United ever again.
Yeah, but I can also easily believe that Ronaldo winked because he quite fancied your club.
Yeah, well, that might be true. We wouldn't be able to say that though.
Yeah, of course you can.
Alright. Why not? Because you're implying that Cristiano Ronaldo is homosexual.
I'm not implying that at all. I think it's possible for a man to find another man attractive without it going to a physical level.
Well, what do you think about that, Roach? So I meant, what do you think about a man fancy another man without going to physical?
You can't hear Roach, he hasn't got a microphone.
Roach hasn't got a microphone. Anyway, I don't know whether Ronaldo did that or not. I do think there is a thing, particularly like with young players, that any chance of them ever thinking in terms of whether something is okay to do ethically and on the pitch is completely gone now.
Yeah, I think we're still holding on to that a bit in England. Clearly in Portugal, it's actually considered very admirable to be dishonest on the pitch.
Now's the time for the courageous England performance. 10 brave young men of England taking on Portugal and the fucking referee.
I also think there's a problem with Rooney though. I mean, I think he wasn't fit, but I also think one of the ways in which Sven isn't very bright is that I think Rooney is, you know, he's a hard bloke. He's a hard bloke from a very hard part of Liverpool, and he's got a temper on him, and he needs to be to some extent controlled and monitored and trained not to do that kind of thing, because people are going to pick on him, they are going to try and rile him, and no one seems to be monitoring him at all. Yeah, where's Gary Lineker? Oh, sorry to go on about Gary Lineker, but where's the Gary Lineker signed to Bobby Robson about Gaza? Yeah, where's that about Rooney?
Just when the red card in this stadium, you could just the red card really sort of glowed, really caught the light above the heads of all the players, and the red. I couldn't fucking believe it was red. I could see he was going to get booked. But I couldn't believe it was red. It was just there, glowing against the grass. You're right. It did glow like a terrible flag from hell.
Yeah, but I think I do keep coming back to the thing about Sven, because I could be an England manager the way Sven is an England manager. I've never known any England manager who picks the blokes that the papers say, because the papers are always coming up with new England players, and usually there's a period where the England manager doesn't pick them, and then either goes away or the manager does eventually pick them. But with Sven, as soon as anyone's mentioned in the paper as decent, he picks them. You know, it's like picking by, it's basically by a sort of press vote. I don't think, I mean, I never feel that he has sat down and thought this is the blend. Like, he just picks all the name players. And what England, they've ended up with a team of Galacticos like Real Madrid, who have never looked like a proper team.
So here's a question for you, Dave, right? It's 73 minutes into the second half. If this goes to penalties, who's going to take England's 5 penalties now? We better win in ordinary time, or at least in extra time, because if that's our 5 penalty takers, we're completely in shit.
I mean, surely, on the one occasion we won the World Cup, the manager had the guts to pick the right blend of players. He didn't just pick the 11 best players on the country. He thought, yeah, okay, probably Jimmy Greaves is the best striker in the world at the moment, but he doesn't quite fit in with my style of play, and that takes balls.
Well, no, it does. But
whereas
also,
Sven just wants to be Mr. Popular.
But I also think the thing about Ramsey is that he had a vision and a way of playing, which, whether you agree with it or not, is a vision and a way of playing. And I wouldn't. You're still now, after 5.5 years, I'll be hard pushed to tell you what Sven's vision is. It's sort of vaguely defensive, and mainly, as you say, someone who thinks I'll pick the players that people seem to want me to pick. There doesn't seem to be, I can't describe what the Goran Eriksson style of play is still.
So it's extra time. Maybe this is because I'm getting to be an old man, but whenever I watch an England team lying around on the pitch, I always think of 66 and when it's extra time. And I hate to call it 66, I know that's what wankers do, but it does remind me of Alf Ramsey saying, you beat them once, now beat them again. They haven't beat them once yet. No, they haven't beat them. Couldn't Sven go around saying, look, you've been rubbish, but you've kept winning. I've been rubbish, win again. Maybe that is what he's saying.
Well, I'm glad he's gone. You know, it's an interesting experiment. He got us to 2 World Cups. You know, he rescued the Kevin Keegan World Cup campaign. He got us the European Championships. He's never going to win anything because he could get us to about quarterfinals. He wasn't good enough.
No, he wasn't good enough. But also, I still think that virtually every England fan in that ground, even the most frightening and the most inarticulate, could have told you what was wrong with the team. To see Beckham seemingly, as you said, become part of the management team at one stage.
Well, when he was off injured, he did seem to become part of the management team. He was hobbling around with one sock on and one sock off.
But that was quite admirable, I think, because at one point they showed him crying. And crying, which is a big thing for footballers now. You know, until Gaza, footballers never cried. Now they cry all the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, he stopped crying, which I think is good, because I think enough with the crying already. And then he did actually seem to be suggesting stuff. And of course, Sven, being the bloke he is, will definitely listen to David Beckham. He listens to everybody.
Also, because David Beckham's a bit of a celebrity,
yeah,
Sven will be really impressed by him.
Yeah, he'd probably listen to Victoria if she got down to the dugout.
Well, if Victoria said, "Can I come and sit here and make?"
Well, we know Victoria was in the dugout sitting on David's lap in an international some years ago. She may have been saying to Spencer, what I think you should do is play with one striker up front, kind of disattached from the midfield.
Anyway, he's gone, Sven. I was slightly pissed off that he was essentially sacked by the fake shout of the EFA or public opinion, but I am glad he's gone.
Go on, Hargreaves, go on! Go on, Hargreaves! Oh, shit, go on! Oh, fucking hell!
I am worried about Steve McLaren, but he's English. At least he'll be. You feel that if Steve McLaren had managed us tonight, that Steve McLaren would be feeling the shit as we're feeling. Whereas Fen, I'd be very surprised if he's much bothered. He's probably already on the phone to somebody about the next job.
I have to say this, in the midst of all the horror, I've just looked at David Baddiel and it is the funniest sight, because he did have a cross of St George on his cheek, and there is just a terrible mess of red. He's on his glasses, yours is all over your mouth. You look like a child who's had too much strawberry ice cream. Well, I think it's a terrible metaphor. Gerald Tweedy will take me to the toilet. It's a terrible metaphor for what's happened to England. They're kind of ragging it all over the place.
But my point is that I do think that this was a team with a lot of talent in it, and when you actually look at the teams that we've had at World Cups recently, it's a better team, man for man, and all that. And it's
Yeah, but that's not.
no, I know that doesn't make.
It's like when Newcastle bought Faustino Asprilla just because he was like this exciting player, and Keegan had no idea where he was going to play him. He's tried to wedge him in there because he was a good player, and the whole team system crumbled, and that's how they lost the league.
But I don't agree with you in the idea that if you've got loads of good players, that means they can't be a team. They obviously can be a team. The Brazil 1970 team was a team. It's just that someone needs to mould them in the right way.
But they got lucky. You can't pick them all. Some of them won't get in the team because the chances of them all fitting the system. It's like, I don't know about you, but I never buy or rarely buy greatest hits albums anymore, because greatest hits albums, okay, you get their best songs, but they never quite fit together because they're all from different periods. Whereas if you buy someone's album, it's a slice of their creativity over the space of a few months, and even though not all the songs are as strong, it kind of works as a unit. Whereas when you buy a greatest hits, you get all these disjointed big songs, and then you get a few fillers because they think, well, they've got all the big songs, so we can put any old rubbish in to fill up the album. That's what the England team's like. It's a greatest hits album, but it hasn't got that kind of unity, and it hasn't got that kind of focus and that vision.
No one will ever nominate a greatest hits as the best album of all time.
No, or their favourite album. No, of course not.
Well, the penalties are going to be taken in the goal right in front of me and Dave. And we've adopted the penalty stand. We've decided to put our arms around each other and stand there while the brothers are taken with arms around each other. That's what footballers do. And that's what we do. And as we've completely messed up the crosses at centre
seemed to me that the Gerrard Lampard thing never worked. You know, despite the fact they're both really good players, something was wrong with that. I think, you know, there is an argument that we should have been playing with just one of them and the team around one of them and not both of them. And that fits in with what you're saying, because the point is, they're both stars, they're both brilliant players. Sven, who can't make decisions, and certainly can't make decisions that might piss anyone off, thinks, well, I can't drop one of them. Whereas in fact, it may have been better to drop one of them and think, okay, that works better, because you can't really have two attacking central midfielders, both of whom, in their own sides, are the axis of the team. You can't have them both there, they cancel each other out. But that may or may not be right. The point is, he wouldn't try it. Not really, because he was too worried about these are star players, I don't want to piss them off.
Lampard Jr. with the first England penalty.
The only thing they might remember is the 5-1 against Germany, so as far as football record goes.
I don't believe that 5-1 had anything to do with Sven, because it was such a one-off. You know, the Germany team weren't great, we would fire them. Michael Owen was the best striker in the world at the time. I think all this stuff about Sven getting lucky and being in the right place, I thought it was taught, but now I'm just thinking,
well, no, but you might be right. I mean, I think that 5-1 might come to be seen as quite important, though, in terms of the energy it created around Sven being England's saviour, which went on for quite a long time, really, possibly till today.
But you know, there was tears in my eyes at the end of the game today, and the specific thought which made me feel especially upset was I thought, you know, I don't think I'm going to see England win a major tournament in my lifetime. I'm 50 next year, and I honestly think time is running out, because I just can't see it happening.
Well, what you could do is try to be a bit healthy, because I think if you live a bit, there'll be like more of a chance. I know you're quite healthy, but I think you could be a bit healthy.
Yeah, but I think today's match is probably taken about 5 years, so it all works against
You said it to me, actually. You said it in 1998 when we left the Stade de France. We were driving back in the south of French coast. You said to me, Dave, we were able to get into the World Cup in our lifetime, and that was.
Well, of course, I have seen one win in my life.
Yeah, but not in our.
I'd like to see one win in colour instead of black and white.
Yeah.
So we're level again, eh? Some of the Portuguese blood, who cares which one?
What we should say is that these podcasts started with me singing a song about Owen Hargreaves being in the squad, because he knew his way around Germany but can get into a few clubs and stuff like that. And in fact today, I think we have to hold up our hands and say Owen Hargreaves was really man of the match.
Owen Hargreaves was great today, and actually played really well.
Running, I mean,
incredibly
with
fit.
3 minutes to go to penalties, he was still running like a knockout.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, though. I think he played really well. I thought, like, before extra time, I thought, oh no, it's really good. But I also thought there's something very typical about him, because the reason I'm holding out this much is he's run out of his skin. He's kind of like really, really made a supreme effort. But you know, it's still there's something very English about that. And I didn't think Owen Hargreaves was man of the match because he's played the most incredibly skillful balls through.
No, but that's all right.
No, it's all right. But I think it's not what's going to win us the World Cup.
Well, maybe it's time to stop. I mean, I think English football was irreparably damaged by Brazil winning the World Cup in 1970, because before that, we were still a major world power, despite Hungary winning at Wembley. We were still a major power, and we played English football the way English football is naturally played, with big stopper centre half. and big strong centre forwards, and still skillful players, but basically a lot of hard work and a lot of sweat and a lot of guts. And then in 1970 you thought, oh, this is how you're supposed to play football. You're supposed to be fabulous fair players and entertaining and all that. And I think there's a fabulous book called by a bloke called Simon Cooper, I think, and it's about how each country has its own style of play. And it is incredible that the Germans play a certain way and the Italians play a certain way. And I'm not talking about one team, I'm talking about generations of teams inherit that style of play. And what we did, we basically turned our back on our own inheritance and tried to play like continentals or South Americans. And I think whilst learning something from those teams, I think you have to keep true to what your own football self is. And I think England need to look at that and accept that blokes like Owen Hargreaves are basically hard-working, solid players are the backbone of the team, and then you decorate that team with a few fancy players.
That might be true.
So they score now. We've lost. Oh, if anyone is going to miss, I want it to be this France. He's a bottler. He is a bottler. Oh, he's kissed the ball.
Kicking around this whole World Cup, but basically we were playing some sort of defensive football, which a lot of teams have been very successful with over the years. I mean, Bolton's the obvious example in the Premiership, really. But we weren't doing that. We were playing failed, attacking, creative, flair football, which we just couldn't do.
No, well, you're right. I mean, the thing that seemed to be the most annoying thing that Sven said was, he said, so we have played bad football, we're through. If we win this World Cup playing bad football, who cares? And the thing is that's a notion about football. No one wins a World Cup through playing bad football. Greece didn't win Euro 2004 playing bad football. They won it through playing a very tight, defensive, dull football, but it wasn't bad. They just did it really, really well.
Very good at that.
We didn't do any of that really, really well. We gave the ball away. We were constantly frightened at the back. Ecuador nearly scored. You didn't see that happening to Greece.
Yeah, but no. We didn't get to the quarter-finals by playing bad football. I know we played bad football, but it was those little tiny bits of good football that we played that got us to the quarter-finals, like Joe Cole's goal and Steven Gerrard's goal, and those little moments. It was the bad football that was holding us back.
The bad football was holding us back, and also we played some very, very ordinary and worse than ordinary teams, so we just about got by playing bad football. That's the problem. And then we played a good team who also were despicably cheating, which didn't help, and then we lost.
Anyway, the World Cup continues, the podcast will continue. We'll kind of be back to normal next year.
Yeah.
But I couldn't be bothered to sit and be funny tonight. I'm pissed off.
Yeah, fair enough.
Of course I'm starting to hate always a bad thing. Turns out once more on the dope for thinking they might win. I'm the fool for giving it space, for letting that idea in my head, for giving birth to that chance of joy, only to see it again put to bed. Of course I had started to hope always a bad thing. Turns out once more I'm the dope for thinking